I will be your presenter for this webinar, which is an introduction to Office 365. This presentation will last about 45 minutes to an hour, and just so you know, it's about 11 a.m. over here in California, and I have a hard stop at noon, which will be 1 hour from now. Therefore, we'll do our best to keep to the time frame. Otherwise, let's get started. I want to go over who I work for, which is a company called New Horizons. I'll talk about who New Horizons is briefly. I'll talk about who I am briefly. Otherwise, the emphasis will be on Office 365, which is a fairly recent cloud product offered by Microsoft. It's an excellent product, and we'll show you guys how to access it, and any time we have for questions, I'll be more than happy to answer questions for you. Okay, as I stated, I work for a company called New Horizons Computer Learning Centers. I work for the Southern California franchise, but we are a global company, and we are a proven worldwide training provider. And one of our claims to fame is we have flexible learning solutions, whether it's mentored learning training, whether it's on-site training, pre-recorded materials, you name it. We have a lot of different learning modalities that here at New Horizons, okay? And all of the instructors here at New Horizons are certified to teach the products that they are teaching, okay? New Horizons is the largest international network for a training provider. We have the most classes. We have 2,100 classrooms worldwide, 2,400 plus instructors located in at least 56 different countries, probably more at this point. And we train 3 million student days. We have 3 million student days of training per year. So just the numbers are pretty large there, because we're a really big company. And like I said, we have a lot of different training methods. Okay, we have what's called instructor-led training, which means that we offer the traditional training environment with the instructor at the front of the room, students attending live. And like we're doing right now, which is online live, where the instructor is presenting online and the students could be anywhere in the world. And we also do private group training, which means that we can do private classes for you on our site or at your site as well, okay, to give you the flexibility. So the flexibility is definitely a great option for you, because we're adults, we have careers, we have jobs, we have families, and time is definitely of the essence. So customizing the timeline to your needs definitely would be a great advantage to you guys, okay? And we have a lot of partners. We're partnered with Microsoft and Cisco, VMware, Red Hat, EC Council, Citrix, you name it. We are partnered with the biggest names in the business. Okay, you can see on that list right there, these are all our partners. And like I said earlier, my name is Nick Lane, okay, and I'm a trainer at New Horizons for about 8.5 years now. And let's see, I've been certified since 1998. I've been trainer since 2005. I got a lot of certifications there, which includes Ethical Hacker, MCT. I have a whole bunch of security certifications. I do a lot of CompTIA training, a lot of Microsoft training. So I'll keep my introduction brief here. But just want to mention that I definitely have a lot of good certifications here, a lot of experience, been around a bit. So hopefully you will get a lot out of this presentation. Okay. So let's talk about Office 2000. Oh, my apologies. Let's talk about Office 365. Okay. Office 365 is Microsoft's cloud version of Microsoft Office. Okay. Traditionally, people are accustomed to sitting at a computer. They go to the start screen and they see, on their start screen they have their Office folder, and then they have Office there. It might be Office 2010, it might be Office 2013, it might be 2007, 2003, you name it. And the challenge with that is I have to be at this system to have access to those Office programs. What if I wanted to access Microsoft Office from any device, on any computer, any device from anywhere? Is there an internet accessible version of Microsoft Office? We call that Office 365. And the 365 is just meant to reflect that Office is available to you 365 days a year online. Now, Office 365, being a cloud, internet version of Office, okay, is designed to work with many different types of devices, okay, whether it's iPads or Windows 8 devices, Windows 7 devices, you name it. It's designed to work for a plethora of different devices out there. You could even throw in Androids as well, considering their popularity. Now, the word cloud, I use that word a lot because the cloud basically represents the Internet. Microsoft is the cloud provider, and what they're providing is a program called Office 365. Now, because the service that's being offered is a program, we say that Office 365 is software as a service, SaaS, software as a service. No matter how complicated it may seem, Office 365 is essentially a software as a service, and it's available to us through the cloud. So it's an on-demand platform which gives us good flexibility. And the fact is we can use many different devices anywhere, therefore there's a roaming capability that comes with that. And not to mention, any changes that Microsoft makes to their Office 365 infrastructure is something they do on their end. And therefore, there's nothing we have to do on our end. We don't need to deploy Office 365 to our client machines because the program is on the Internet. It's simply a website. Like, think about when Facebook makes some changes to their privacy policy or they make changes to their home page. The only thing we have to do is just type facebook.com and log in, and there's the changes. We don't have to do anything. Facebook does it. Office 365 does the same thing. Now, considering the social impact, the global impact of social media out there, it makes sense that Office 365 also has social capabilities like news feeds and microblogging. News feeds would be like a Facebook wall. Microblogging would be like Twitter. Okay. I'm not saying that we're using a Facebook wall or Twitter. I'm just saying that news feeds and microblogging, those are good examples. And also Microsoft has their own social service called Yammer, okay, which is going to help provide additional social networking features. And we can also have meetings in Office 365 and to improve our social capabilities. We can do HD video conferencing. And we can even leverage Skype. Because remember, Microsoft acquired Skype a few years ago. And we can leverage the Skype platform within the Office 365 platform in what's called a federated environment. Therefore, you can have one access the other to bridge the two together. And then you have control, DLP, data loss protection. Okay? Even though your data and your programs are hosted by Microsoft in the Office 365 environment, we still have some level of control. Okay, it's kind of like just because you put your money in a bank account does not mean you have no control over it. I mean, they're the ones storing it. They're the ones that buy and sell whatever they do with your money. But you do have the ability to control your money to a certain extent. You have control over your Office 365 files, because Microsoft wants to make sure that hospitals can maintain their HIPAA compliance and publicly traded companies can maintain their Sarbanes-Oxley compliance. And any company that does credit card transactions can be PCI compliant and so on. In order to be compliant with that, you need control over your data. You need tracking of it, and you get that with Office 365. Now, the benefits of Office 365 is going to be that you have an internet version of Office. It's something that you are already familiar with, even if you've never used it, because Word is Word. Excel is Excel. Whether it's a local version or an internet version, it doesn't matter. Okay? We have IT controls and configuration as well. Like, we can control, for example, the email that we leverage with Office 365, because Office 365 has an exchange service that we can leverage. We can control that exchange service. We can control the Lync service that comes with it, if you've ever heard of Lync server. There's a SharePoint service that comes with Office 365. We have controls over these three services. And the experiences will be optimized for the devices that consume this tool. Okay? In other words, you'll get good performance, good reliability, because it's a web service. Okay? And there's nothing all that complex about that. And the reliability that Microsoft is willing to provide for Office 365 is the 3 nines. 99.9% uptime per year, which translates to, I forget how many hours it is, but it's a few hours per year of downtime. which is pretty good, okay? And they give you this promise in the form of what's called an SLA, a service level agreement. A service level agreement is exactly what it sounds like. What level of service do we agree to provide for you? In terms of if there's a problem, how long will we take to fix it? How long will we take to get back to you? Okay, how much uptime per year will we provide? That's all promised in what's called SLAs. Office 365 is always changing. Okay, this time last year, it was Office 2010 that kind of formed the engine of Office 365. Now it's Office 2013. So it's been completely redone in recent months. And let's see. Okay, let's take a look at actually what the platform looks like here. Okay, for example, you have Exchange, you have SharePoint, you have Lync. These are all servers that your company might have within their premises. But what about an Internet Exchange server, an Internet SharePoint server, an Internet Lync server? Can you connect to it? Can you manage it over the Internet, even if you're not at the job? So you have what's called Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, and Lync Online. And if anybody is wondering, you could create a link, in a sense, between these three services and the servers you have on your premises. That way your Exchange Online computer is an extension of the one that you have inside your premises. You also have, this is something else, but it's called Windows Azure. Windows Azure is Microsoft, what Microsoft calls it their Cloud OS. Think of Windows Azure as not being software as a service, it is platform as a service, which is a little bit deeper. In other words, Windows Azure allows us to create our websites on the Windows Azure platform. We can run virtual machines on the Windows Azure platform. We can upload our apps and run them on the Windows Azure platform, or we can develop our own apps within the Windows Azure platform. It is a platform. It's kind of like, in a way, you're renting a server, and you're leveraging the server for whatever reasons you may have. Maybe you want to leverage a SQL database that is stored on the Windows Azure platform. So Windows Azure is something else, but it ties into Office 365 to give you more cloud capabilities. Now, another cool thing about Office 365 is it's not entirely cloud. It actually comes with, depending upon your subscription, an Office 365, an Office 2013 subscription. So you can actually gain access to download the Office 2013 programs and load them locally in your system. Because Microsoft is not trying to get rid of Office 2013. They just want to complement it with Office 365. Now, these are some components which could come with Office 365, but not necessarily. Okay, you have SharePoint. Okay, and SharePoint is it's a collaboration tool. It's designed for storing your files. It's stored for wikis, and it's designed for workflows. It's designed for having web-based programs and company portals. But what about the social networking aspect of it? So you can integrate the Yammer product with your SharePoint solution so that SharePoint can do more social networking stuff. Because social networking, as far as Facebook goes, is great, but businesses might want to have their own internal Facebook, for lack of a better expression. We can also purchase Project Pro for Office 365. That way we have an online version of Microsoft Project to work on our projects and modify them and upload them and download them, etc. Okay, so that's definitely an optional but a beneficial feature of Office 365. Visio as well, which is another Office product that you could get if you wanted it. And Visio, if you don't know already, is a diagram tool where you can create your network diagrams, your organizational charts, your CAD drawings. Like, you could do a whole lot of diagram stuff with Visio. Might be nice to have a cloud version of it. Okay, what about CRM? Customer relationships. Okay, what about Microsoft Dynamics? Okay, you could have the Microsoft Dynamics CRM tool integrate with Office 365 so that you can use the Office 365 environment as a way of managing and tracking your customers, which is, using cloud tools for CRM is very popular. Okay, we do it. Now, they've made some changes to Office 365, like I said. Okay, they've upgraded Exchange to 2.13, SharePoint, Lync, and Office. It's all been upgraded to 2.13. That way it's the latest and greatest, okay? Because there might be some challenge there if your local Office is 2013 and the cloud one isn't. I think you'd want to have that synergy there. And, you'll get a new version of Web Outlook as a result of the new Exchange that's been provided there, and better security, better social networking integration with Facebook and LinkedIn, because let's face it, a lot of businesses are very heavy into Facebook and LinkedIn for building relationships with their customers. So Office 365 does let you integrate with those providers if you wanted to. With SharePoint, better collaboration with external users, and not to mention Microsoft has another software as a service product called SkyDrive, which is basically the Microsoft version of Dropbox, where you can upload your files online, and you can even create files online as well. But I have to warn you, Microsoft recently changed the name of SkyDrive. Now it's called OneDrive. Most people say SkyDrive. I still say SkyDrive, but OneDrive is now the correct term. Lync is Microsoft's communications tool. You can use it to make phone calls, instant message, video conference, leave voicemails, even do remote control of other machines. It's your Lync tool. Lync Online is an Office 365 service to allow you to do all this online. Now, if you wanted to administer an Office 365, I guess you would say portal, you're going to need to, of course, subscribe to the service. Okay? Now, let me show you what's involved with that. I have a whole bunch of stuff on my desktop here. Pardon me, because I'm actually teaching the class right after this presentation's over. But what you can do is this. Go to Bing or Google, and then you can type in Office 365. Let's see. Portal is fine. Okay? And this is the website for Office 365. It's portal.microsoftonline.com. And then this is the website, because it's a cloud service. You do everything through a web browser, like Chrome or Internet Explorer or Safari. You name it, it should work with all of them. Now, if you don't have an account and you want to use it for free, at least for a little while, this is what I recommend you do. Okay, go to Office 365 comparison. Just type that on your tool there, and then you'll see a whole bunch of options here for the different versions of Office 365, because it's not a single product. There are different tiers of it. For example, Office 365 for businesses, okay, click on that link, and then here it shows the various products that are out there. Now, in the interest of how do I create an account for myself so I can access it, okay, the link that you need down here, it says right there, free trial. You click on free trial, and then it's going to take you to a sign-up page where you need to specify, information here, like specify your first name, specify your last name. You will have to potentially create a new Microsoft account, because you need a Microsoft account to leverage the Office 365 environment. So there might be like right down here, create your new user ID, okay? And that will let you do this. So I'll show you how the sign-up process works. All right, let me create an account right now. I'll just call it Nick Lane 0424214, okay? And I'll say at whatever.onmicrosoft.com, okay? I just want to keep this nice and simple. Just to make sure I don't forget that, I will simply, well, I didn't type it right, pardon me. Okay, I just type in the address right here on Microsoft, there we go, .com. Okay. Okay, so I'll do that one right there. When you do a real subscription to the Office 365 portal, okay, you won't have a weird name like that. This is just your trial name, okay, so don't worry about that name being weird like that. I just want to get myself in here. And then you create your password, okay, just so you can see this for yourself. And you need to have a number there. So in the interest of privacy, I will certainly just do this real quick. That's going to send a message to my device real quick. And when that text comes through, that will automatically generate the password like I need it, and I can then log into it. Okay? But in any event, once that's done, I just want you to see how this is done. We don't necessarily have to do it. And then you'll have a username. In this case, it'll look like this. Okay, there's your username, and then you go to the portal, which, like I said earlier, is portal.microsoftonline.com. And then you'll be able to log in here with your username and password, which I copied it wrong, but in any event, you get the point. Now, once you do that, this is the screen you're going to see. Okay, this is not what the users see. This is what you, the administrator, is going to see, because Office 365 needs to be managed. Okay, so it is a cloud service. This is your administrative environment that you're going to see in Office 365. Okay, here it shows you overall what is the health of those various services that are available to the enterprise subscriber. You know, the Exchange Health, the Lync Health, etc. Okay, and here you see some of your tools like Outlook. If I click on that, my web Outlook opens automatically, and I can start sending and receiving emails. Calendar tool, exactly what it sounds like. A people tool where I can have a contact list. A news feed where I can create, like, I guess you would say, like a Facebook wall where I can make company announcements or customer announcements. And SkyDrive, that will take me to my SkyDrive folder. And sites, that is my any SharePoint sites I might have created. And where it says admin, if I click the drop down, it'll show me a button for Exchange admin, SharePoint admin, Lync admin, you name it. Okay, so this is the management interface of Office 365. Now, what people are probably going to do day in and day out might be something along the lines of accessing their SkyDrive account. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so you have, pardon me, technically it's called OneDrive, so let's be accurate. You go to OneDrive.com, and I already have an account here. So the account I want to log in with is an account I actually make available to my students, and I call it this. This is my OneDrive account for my students, which I gave it to them for this week for the class I'm doing. And here it shows folders which contain the overall Office 365 experience, not to mention, and this is a great feature of Office 365, you can create a Word document using an online version of Office. So for example, Word Online, this is going to generate an online version of Word. And you do not need local Word to use this. I can remove Word from my machine right now. This will come up, and I can start doing stuff with it. You know, this is my Word Online feature. Okay, you get all the different features here for free. Okay, there's no money involved in this. The catch will be you don't have all the features of Word 2013. You have, I would say, the most common features. Okay, and I could go to File, Save As, and I could save this to my physical computer if I wanted to. Otherwise, if I close it, okay, now I got that, whoops, now I got that file there. And I think I went too far ahead there, pardon me. Let me go back to my SkyDrive, excuse me. There we go. So in any event, I can create also an Excel workbook just by using the cloud version of Excel here. You know, so that's kind of what Office 365 is. It's Office. It's an online version of Office. You have online Outlook. You have online Exchange server, online Lync server, online SharePoint server, etc. Okay, that's kind of the that's part of the deal with this. Okay, and let me move on here. Let me talk a little bit about Exchange, just to kind of go in order here. Okay? You know, with cloud services, you have to ask yourself, is my company's stuff, my company's software, does my company have its own server with Microsoft, or am I sharing a physical server with other customers? Okay? If you have to pony up the money, but if you have a certain number of users and you throw them the extra money, you can have your own dedicated Exchange service, which means that the physical hardware that the cloud provider makes available to you, it's yours alone. Whereas if you want to spend less money, okay, you can subscribe to what's called a multi-tenant service, where, you know, think of it like an office building. An office building, you know, you have many different companies that have their own suites in that building. That's multi-tenant. Whereas a company has their own building, that would be a dedicated service, right? So multi-tenant is going to be less expensive, but also there's a certain degree of control that you lose, because now your company and the other companies are competing for resource access and, you know, uptime and SLAs with the other companies. But otherwise, you know, the 99.9% guarantee is pretty solid, and you shouldn't have challenges. So dedicated services are definitely more preferable, you know, if money grew on trees. Okay. All right, so that's Exchange Online. You also have Lync Online. Okay, like I said, where you have an internet version of the Lync client tool. Think of Lync as being like Skype. Okay, it is a client tool that you can use for instant messaging and voice over IP and voicemails and so forth. Okay, and my company here at New Horizons, we rely very heavily upon Lync. Okay, we do a lot of our operations on Lync. You know, I think you would call it drinking from the Kool-Aid, so to speak. Now, one of the cool things about this Lync Online tool is when people sign in, others will know about it because you have presence. You have the presence feature where your presence will be like a broadcast to others in the form of a buddy list. Like, here's your buddy list basically, and when people sign on, you see it. Okay, and you can also use Lync and Outlook together. Like if you're sending someone an email in Outlook, Outlook will tell you if this person is available for instant messaging, or if this person's available for making a phone call. Like you have integration there. I think it's definitely a great feature. Okay, so you can connect with people, and a great benefit of Office 365 is because Microsoft manages the servers and the software, and they provide the security and all that. There's a lot less cost to a company. I don't have to roll it out to a bunch of machines. I don't need new machines. I don't have to worry about mastering, you know, the support side of it so much, because Microsoft is largely doing it. It's like your money at your bank. I don't really worry too much what the bank is doing. I just go to the ATM machine. My money is there. At least, you know, you would hope it is. But, you know, it's less costly for people in a lot of cases when they delegate a task to somebody else. And that essentially is what cloud computing is, where you delegate the operation and the infrastructure of your network to some other third party. Let them deal with the risks. You know, risk transference is what they call that. SharePoint Online. SharePoint has always been an online thing, but it's always been a company thing, an internal online thing. What about having an online SharePoint server? Okay, what about having an online SharePoint server that you can very easily have your people reach online, anywhere, with any device? That's what SharePoint Online is designed to do. You can create your SharePoint sites. You can share documents on the SharePoint sites, okay, and you can collaborate with other colleagues. I used to, I don't anymore, but I used to be a SharePoint instructor, so I definitely remember it pretty fondly. Definitely is a great product for collaboration, okay? And don't forget, when you subscribe to Office 365, depending upon the subscription you have, they will include all of those versions of, you know, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Note, Outlook, Access, PowerPoint, and Lync as a value add. Remember, they let you download that as part of your subscription, which I think is really nice. I already showed you the Office web apps, which is Word Online, Excel Online, okay, PowerPoint Online. There's also OneNote Online, which I didn't show you, but it's there, okay? And let's see. Wrong screen. There we go. Okay, so we talked about that, okay, and businesses eventually reach a point where they have to ask themselves this question, okay. Does it make economical sense for me to deploy Office 365 versus just going with some other, Office 2013 method? Should we go with Office 365? This is probably the main reason why businesses go in the cloud direction, because the total cost of ownership is reduced when you go with a cloud solution. The total cost of ownership. The total cost of ownership includes the time it takes to plan, design, roll out, maintain, secure, backup, all of that stuff. Training, calling the help desk, fixing problems, all of that stuff collectively is thrown into a formula called total cost of ownership. And what they're saying is that the economies of scale, when you use cloud networking, okay, your percentage of savings will be 80% total cost of ownership reduction. 80% out of 100 is significant, okay? So that's what businesses are saving money. If you can create a plan for a business to, use an internet platform, an internet program, and let Microsoft and literally their $500 million data center, let them, babysit your infrastructure for Office. If you can convince an employer that you're going to save money doing that, they're going to do it, okay? Because a lot of companies are using web-based CRM tools right now where there is no local program to install. There is no local server. There is nothing in the data center, to worry about as far as heating and cooling and ventilation and stuff like that. It's Microsoft's problem. And what do? They charge you a monthly fee, okay? And what was that fee? Let me bring that back up again, okay? So let me go back to Bing here and Office 365 comparisons. And then here is, again, that link, okay? And you have all different types of versions of Office here. So it depends on the number of users that you want to allow access to the Office 365 environment, but let's say you only have 25 people, or at least tops up to 25 people. Okay, it'll be $12.50 a month. That'll be the subscription. Okay, per user per month, $12.50. So 25 times $12.50. Okay, now because you have the small business premium package, they're going to throw in the desktop versions of those products. That's Office 2013. Okay, and you can see down below what other features come with it. All those dots there will indicate. Now, there is no Active Directory integration. That is one of the downsides of going with the Office 365 Small Business Plan, Premium, rather. And there's also a whole bunch of other things down here you also don't get, like the Yammer social networking element, or better security for your email and voicemail and so on and so forth. So there's different things that you don't get with it, but that's why it's $12.50 a month. Now, if you go to the $15 a month version, you have up to 300 people, which will benefit bigger businesses, obviously. And you'll see that as we go down, where there wasn't a dot for the small business, now there is a dot for it. The mid-sized business version does support Active Directory integration. It supports mobile apps. It is lacking, though, in social networking, advanced email, and so forth. All right, so not surprising, because that is not the high-end version. And then you have your enterprise versions of Office 365, where we can support an unlimited number of users. And this is probably where a lot of businesses might want to go, because they like that flexibility. Now, as you scroll down, you'll see that your Enterprise E3 product, your Enterprise E4 product, being the most expensive of all of them, you'll see that those dots just kind of keep going. Okay, they have basically every feature. And the one difference between Enterprise 4 versus Enterprise 3 is the Enterprise Voice benefit. Now, my recommendation to you to practice with Office 365 will be to get the free trial of Office E3, because that is the highest version of Office 365 that is available for the free trial. And they won't ask for a credit card. So you don't have to worry about any charges or anything like that. Although I will mention, they will call you and say, oh, hello, Mr. Lane. I want to talk to you about your Office 365 solution. Is now a good time? Because Microsoft is really happy that you did a trial version. They're hoping you'll buy. Okay, and that's up to you, of course. But that free trial is available 30 days unlimited, okay, and from any number of machines. Just make sure you create the email account like I showed you. Okay, so you see these different versions of Office 365 here. You can kind of see that, you know, these are all the business versions. But Office 365 is not simply a business product. You can even have it for the home users. Okay, so if I click here, let's see, Office for Home. That should switch this to the, and it did. Okay, the home versions. And you can kind of see here what the differences are, because maybe you want to buy this, but you don't want to get the business version because you don't have 25 people or 300 people or unlimited people. You just want to have it for, you know, just you or just for 5 machines or something like that. You have some options here. So you have the Office 365 Personal, which would be just for one individual. You have Office 365 for the home, which would be 5 users. Okay, you could do a monthly subscription, you know, for $6.99 a month, or the annual for $69.99. And they will include the full versions of these products, you know, Office 2013, which I think is a great benefit, and it's just $6.99 a month. You know, sometimes my students say, "Hey Nick, is there a cheap way I can get a hold of Office?" And I say, "Well, you could do a trial version of Office 2013, or you can just skip Office and go to what's called Open Office, which is free, and it works with Office files." But I also say you could just do $6.99 a month and do Office 365, and that way you don't have to spend, you know, $200, $300, $400 on the Office 2013 suite, which, you know, you can definitely make sense. Universities have their own package. You have the Office Home and Student version, okay, which is a one-time purchase, so you own it forever. Okay, you have Office Home and Business, one-time purchase. Office Professional 2013, it's a one-time purpose. Okay, this is for one PC only, though, so you gotta weigh it. Okay, you gotta weigh the benefits here. You can see that for your personal version of Office 365, you have, you know, it works with a tablet, works on a smartphone. You can get 20 gigabytes of storage. Okay, I mean, it initially comes with 7 gigabytes, but there's ways to extend that storage up to 20 gigabytes. Okay, that's for one drive. And they throw in some worldwide, I guess, international minutes with Skype. Okay, always up to date. Absolutely. When Microsoft makes their changes on their portal, it will be automatically updated on the portal for you to see. It comes with Microsoft technical support. There is no charge. That's a nice benefit because Microsoft is not known for free support. Okay, they are known for charging for it. If you think about it, with Windows XP, if you heard Microsoft recently is no longer supporting Windows XP, that's only partly true. They will if you pony up the money. There are plenty of businesses that are paying the millions of dollars now to patch just that business. You know, so Microsoft will charge in a lot of scenarios for technical support, but not if you're an Office 365 customer, which I think is a great benefit. Okay, so that being said, let me move on here. Here's just some feedback from some individuals around the world explaining how Office 365 was the best cloud offering for, you know, for online, you know, desktop productivity. Okay, I just wanted you to see that. And here it just kind of mentions that when you do a typical deployment of an Office product, it takes 1 week, you know, for the pre-planning stages, and then weeks 2, 3, and 4 for the planning stages, and then weeks 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 for the preparation stage, and then weeks 10, 11, and 12 for the actual migration to the new Office product, and then last you have post-migration, which is We have to support people now. We have to train them, you know. So that's a long time. That's about 3 months. You know, deployments can take about 3 months with traditional deployments. But now with Office 365, it's already deployed. You just got to log people into it. Therefore, we call this FastTrack deployment. This can be done in hours, not months, hours. So the deployment is significantly shortened in terms of time, and the risk as well, because you don't have to deploy anything. You really just log into it and just go. Log into your SkyDrive. You just log into your online web Outlook, your online Excel, etc. Okay. Now you might be wondering, what courses does New Horizons offer for Office 365? These are the ones that I found. There might be others I'm unaware of, but I would say probably the main one, okay, will be the top one there. Designing for Office 365 infrastructure. Okay, I'll actually be teaching that next month. Okay, so that is a class that we offer. It's a 3-day class, and if I click on this link here, because if you put this in full screen mode, this is actually a hyperlink. You click on the hyperlink, which I failed to do. Click on the hyperlink there, and now it's going to open up to the New Horizons SoCal website, showing you the course outline for it, being 3 days long. What does this teach you? And it shows you who should attend and what the outline is. And it also shows, you know, like I said, next month, okay, we're offering it, I'm teaching it. It shows you the schedule, where it's being taught, and pricing information. You can buy it online, okay? If you have any questions, just go to the chat window here and ask this individual who is like your online guide. That person is a live person who will be able to assist you, okay? You know, so you have that course, or just do this. Just go to nhsocal.com. That's our website, okay? And go to the search bar up here. Just type in Office 365. That's how you find any course on our site, but specifically these courses. You can see all our different learning modalities here and which learning modality is Office 365 taught in. And you can see these are the courses. It's the same as my list. And you can see the times. Okay, so all these different times here. Okay, this is one of the advantages of being the world's largest computer training company. We teach everything all the time. Okay, we're teaching classes very frequently. We have a lot of trainers. We are a national network. Okay, therefore, I'll have students in my class that are in different states. You know, so it kind of makes the learning experience that much more, much better for you. You can collaborate with your fellow students. Okay, so you have those courses online, and like I said, you go to nhsocal.com. You can do all your searches up there in the top right. And if you're curious, just look around. You'll see all the other classes we have that are not Office 365 related, because we do teach everything, whether it's Citrix or Cisco or hacking or project management, you name it. You got your New Horizons catalog there if you want to see all of our courses, and our newsletter there just in case you want to see what we're doing from a social perspective there. So a lot of cool options here. Okay, you can even see what certifications we offer and what classes map to those certifications. I use that a lot too, because sometimes I want to learn something. I don't know what the cert's called, so I go there. Okay? In any event, so I just wanted to show you guys that stuff. I think it'll be very beneficial to you, okay, as far as how Office 365 works. It is something that end users can leverage, and also administrators can leverage to control the end users. And it's designed to be a cloud product available anywhere from any device at any time. And if you guys want some training, here's your links. Otherwise, I said this presentation would be about 45 minutes to an hour. We're at the 45th minute right now, and I think now would be a good time for questions, if there are any questions. Okay, no pressure for me, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. And before I forget, let me give you guys my information. Okay, Nick Lane, that's my email address. That's my phone number. Okay. You can also find me on LinkedIn. I'm the MCT trainer, okay? Just in case you want to link up with me.
Hey, Nick, I have a question.
Okay, any questions? Yes.
I have a question. It says, is there an option to install a FAT client for Office 365 for offline use?
Office 365 is primarily a cloud tool. The only local tools that you'll use that can integrate with it will be Office 2007, 2010, 2013. It's meant to be a cloud tool. It's meant to be used with a web browser. It's meant to be used with your local Office software if you have them, like Office 2010, Office 2013. So unfortunately, no, there's no offline version of Office 365, just like there's no offline version of Facebook. If there's any other questions, feel free.
I'm not getting any other questions yet, but Nick and I will hang around for a couple more minutes, and if there's anything, feel free to send it over to us and we'll answer your questions. Otherwise, I think that ends the session for today, and want to say thank you very much to Nick for his wonderful presentation, and thank you to all of you for coming out. So again, if you have any questions, we'll be around for another 2 or 3 minutes, and have a great afternoon, everyone.